Cheerio, everybody. I got something very hard for you today. Another study where white to move and win. We got two pawns here, and black has three pawns. Obviously, our pawns are going up in the diagram. So, as I wrote in the thumbnail, we see that white has two pawns. We have one pawn down because black has three. Also, black has these two pawns that are passed, meaning they have nothing to stop them from going directly down to promotion. There's no other white pawn in the way. And we don't have any passed pawns. So how can we win with when we are down in material and don't have any passed pawns? Well, the key is, of course, our king that is a lot more active than the black king. And also, how to find the winning variation here for white. You need to think about tempo. You cannot lose any tempo, and you have to achieve tempo whenever you can. That is my little clue to how to solve this. And now you can pause the video, analyze this to the end. There are many moves. This is not an easy fix with a couple of moves. It's a very long variation before white wins this, but give it a go, give it a try, and see if you can solve it on your own. Go ahead. Okay, welcome back. So let's see what we're looking at. If we are starting to attack with the king here, we're going to lose this very quick. We don't have time to attack both these pawns at the same time because the pawn here on b file will just hammer down to b1, and we are not going to be able to stop them. So this is really a losing tempo to start with king f5. We don't have to look further with that. Of course, this pawn cannot move. There's no point in moving the e pawn to e3. What about going to d4 and trying to attacking this pawn? Well, same there. We don't really have time for this. Black can play many moves. I would suggest you probably play g3, making the way for the h-pawn to go down to queen. Now if we start running with our e-pawn here, black can simply just pause his own plans and stop us like this first. Now we will have to sacrifice this pawn, but black will take back with a check. We move here, and the king comes to f5, and he will be able to get his king down here and stop this. At least he will give him enough time to run either of these pawns down to a queen when we're trying to move around here for us. So this is not winning either. No, so we need to use our king to really block the black king out. And in order to do that, we have to play king f3. And now you might think, well, why didn't we play king f4? This will become more clear afterwards. Later on in the video, you will understand why. We have to go to f3. That's the only move that wins this for white. The plan is, of course, to run our pawn up here, and if it gets taken when we come there, well, we're going to just use this pawn to promote. Now there's no point for black to move to g1 and try to get this h pawn down. That will just be very quick win for white. We can simply just allow him to go here, and then we can stop it like this. There's no point. So after we play king f3, it's pointless for black to go with the king to g1. It's also pointless for him to go to h5 because we will just ignore this threat. We will do like this, keep on pushing, and when it comes to h3, now he wants to go to g1 and make way for the pawn. Now we will simply use one of our tempos to really block the black king up in here in the corner. And now you see, of course, that these pawns are, one of them is going to be queen very quick, and we win this easy. So the black defense is pretty clear. We are moving our king away from the b pawn, so that's where he's going to hit us. He's going to run to b5. And we don't need to pause the video again. We're just going to go on with our plan, playing e4. and we want to push to e5. Black will then play b4. And now we started to calculate that we see that we will get a queen approximately at the same time, and this is just not good enough. So now we're gonna have to uh, change our strategies a little bit, and we're just gonna run our king to stop this pawn. And where should we go? Well, we have to go to e2 with the king, not e3. And that is the point also why we couldn't start with f4, because we couldn't go to e3. The king has to be on e2. And again, I will describe to you why in a short minute. Okay, black will keep on pushing to b3. And now what do we do? Well, we're gonna use our tempo to stop this pawn and then continue with this. And now again, we couldn't be on e3 because we couldn't come to d2 now. We have to go to d1. This is why and how we are stopping this. Now, it's just pointless for black to sacrifice this pawn. We will promote quicker than him. So instead, he moves the king to g3 and see what happens. All right, we push e5, he grabs it, we push the pawn further, he moves on to e4, and that is why we couldn't be on d3, because he would have pushed the pawn to e4 with a check, with a tempo, and we are not allowed to give away the tempo. Instead we pushed here, and for the same reason we couldn't have our king on d1, because we couldn't allow black to push to e3 with a check and the tempo. If we would have our king up here, then we were forced to take it, and black would push his b pawn, and he will promote at the same time as us. But when we now manage to put this king on d1, we are still guarding the b1 promotion square, and we are still guarding this pawn, but without giving black the chance to move his pawn with a check and gain a tempo on us. And now we promote to a queen. And from this position, even though black has 3 pawns here, it's very easy for us to just grab them all. He doesn't have time to defend. He can try with his king, but really, we can just check and start grabbing pawns like this. And this is an easy win. So if we back up a little bit from the beginning, so the point is we're going to stop this pawn, but first we have to move the king to the f file in order to to block the black king here, and then going further down to d1, because we don't want black to be able to take here and then move anywhere around here with a check and gain a tempo on us, because that would only lead to a draw. So that is the full video. I hope you managed to follow all the discussions and all the theory here. And it's very hard, I know, from the beginning to see why you have to go all the way down to d1 just in order to prevent black from gaining a tempo on us later on. But if you manage to see it all the way from the beginning, you did a very good job. All right, see you again tomorrow for another puzzle. Bye bye.